Right. Okay, now we're live. Hi, welcome to 20SomethingsTV. I'm Amanda, and today we're joined by Lee, Nate, and Chris, and we're going to talk to you about some things that, we think are pretty relevant and hopefully interesting to you all. So I'm going to start with something a little bit more serious and has to do with politics, which I'm sure people don't want to hear about, but you have to, because if you can ignore politics, you're privileged. So, we have another special election coming up. I know we just had a big, huge presidential election, and I'm sure everyone doesn't want to hear about how to vote and how to go out and vote and make sure you're registered and all that jazz.
But everybody better have voted, just on the record.
Yeah.
Voted.
Very important to vote. Got to make sure you do that because our voices have to be heard. And for this special election, it's actually something that will affect us as college students here at URI, because in this special election, coming from one of the documents that the Rhode Island Department of State Elections sent out, this state election, it's going to ask us to approve or reject the Senate's long-term borrowing through bonds. And there's 7 different questions that we, as the constituents, are going to accept or reject on what the state can spend their money on. And one of these questions, which is the first one, is about issuing $107.3 million in bonds for a couple of schools, including RIC and CCRI. But part of this money is going to be going towards the URI Fine Arts Center. And so I'm sure, we were talking about this before class, and not even all of us were aware that, what was going on in this special election, what would it be about. And it turns out it's actually impacting something that is very close to home, especially I know a lot of us are artsy people here. So I was just, wanted to bring awareness to it and encourage everyone to go out and register to vote in the special election. It's on March 2nd, but obviously you can register or you can vote by mail or vote early in person. You just got to do your research for that. But yeah, I was just, you guys going to vote in this special election to make sure we get some money?
I am registered to vote in South Carolina, so that was very interesting for the election because I did not vote like a majority of my state, which is red. Not for me. But I know that there's things like that there. They're just a lot less relevant as I'm in school, but I do keep up with South Carolina politics, which are a lot different than Rhode Island politics. But I had a class in the Fine Arts Center freshman year. It was actually Keith's class. And for those of you who don't know, on campus, the Fine Arts Center is the gross building at the top of campus by there's like a guest lot and like a commuter lot, and it's terrible. And I feel as though, like, as a film student, if we had like a building that really felt, I don't know, like we were wanted and a little bit more like poured into by the university, it would be like a lot easier to find more people that are passionate about like the arts. So if you can vote in Rhode Island, unfortunately I can't, I vote in South Carolina, but if you can vote in Rhode Island, definitely look into the special election because there are a lot of interesting questions on there, especially this one in particular, us being university students. What about you, Nate and Chris? Are y'all going to vote in a special election? What are we thinking? What are the vibes?
I think I'm going to vote for it now. I didn't know about it before, but since you brought it up, I think that it's definitely something that all of us as film students and people that are doing fine arts should vote for, I think. And you were saying that you took that class in the Fine Arts Center. When I'm always like walking by there, I'm always like questioning why it's like at the back of the campus. Like it always seems like it's like forgotten about almost when you're like walking
tucked away. Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
Some parts of it seem like a danger as well, like all the rods in the back that are just kind of like behind a fence. There's like a bunch of like metal rods back there, and that's a little bit concerning as well.
Yeah, and I'm taking this class tomorrow that's in person, so I was like walking by to make sure I knew where it was. And it doesn't even look like one of those like halls at all. It just looks like just a house that's just sitting there. It's odd.
What are your thoughts, Chris?
I'm actually in the same boat as you are, Lee, since I'm from Pennsylvania, so I can't vote in the Rhode Island elections, but I would really like to see the money go to it. I have also had multiple classes in the Fine Arts Center, and I'm sure all of you have shared this experience, but it's like the most confusing building ever. And like the first time I went in, I'm pretty sure I was like 10 minutes late to my first class with Keith because I had no idea how to get to the room.
That makes a lot of sense. And I think as people who are from out of state, like it's kind of our job, since like we can't vote in it, to be advocates for it.
Keith's really calling you out there.
I was late.
Where were you,
You
Chris?
waited, though.
What was more important than this right now?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I was playing a game of Apex, and I wasn't expecting it to take so long, but I almost won. So then it did take a little bit longer than I expected, but I didn't win. So
You didn't secure the W, so it's
I didn't.
hard.
It wasn't worth it.
No. Do better next time. Make improvements, not excuses.
I will. I'll try.
Well, you're here now. So, oh yeah, and we got a highlight about the Squishmallow behind you. So, does it have? I see that's like a theme with our shows recently. Does that one have a name? Because I know we were talking about people were naming there.
I gave mine its own name because I didn't like the name that it was given. I named it Hank after the octopus in Finding Dory. I just think it's very fitting. I also have this one, which we'll talk about today, but it's my Baby Yoda Squishmallow. And yeah, I recently saw something that I'm going to talk about a little bit later is trends on TikTok. There's this store in California that is selling like rows upon rows upon rows and aisles of Squishmallows. And I know it's COVID, and I know taking a cross-country road trip to a store to get stuffed animals is not logic, but I'm at that point in the semester, a week and a half in, where I'm thinking it's a good treat at the end of the semester.
All
Would
right,
anyone else drive across country for something dumb like that, and what would it be?
Something I drive across country for, like something
Like dumb though, like something
yeah,
that's
dumb.
not exciting at all, but they're exciting.
Probably like, okay, I like crystals. I'm one of those girls.
Okay.
Most people also shout out to Maddie in the comments. She's shouting my name right now, so I have to acknowledge her. But yeah, I'm one of those girls that would like go far and pay money for something that just looks like a pretty rock, but it's more than a pretty rock.
It's got a lot of energy to it.
Yeah, it has energy. Everything in the universe has energy in it, and it's all about how you want to use it. And if you can rein that energy and do something positive with it, then why not? So yeah, I guess that would be my dumb thing.
I don't know if this counts or not, but a few years ago, I went on a school trip, and the fidget spinner phase was going on.
Word.
And we just we stopped at this rest stop, and they just had like machines full of fidget spinners. And then like so everywhere we went, everyone would buy fidget spinners. So we ended up having like 10 or 20 just like stacked up everywhere by the time the trip was
Would you
done.
make that trip again?
Would I make the trip again?
Yeah.
Not for fidget spinners now, but at the time they were the thing that was in.
I think they'll make a comeback. That's my prediction for 2021. That, Pokemon cards, Beyblade, I think it's all coming back. That's.
Oh, don't try to do it to your head because apparently that hurts a lot. Like if you like spin it.
I can imagine it's metal.
Yeah.
I just feel like that would hurt so bad.
Oh, we got a comment from Michael. I broke my brother's finger with a fidget spinner. Wow, I did not know they could be such a violent weapon. I never owned one because Well, you know, I feel like this is a good segue into our next topic about trends. You know, wrapping up the election thing. If you're in Rhode Island, go vote. We want the Fine Arts Center to be better. But with something that Lee was going to talk about was quarantine trends. Now, I'm someone who like I'm annoying, so when something becomes popular, I'm like I'm all set. Like I've never downloaded TikTok. Like I've never downloaded that app because I'm an 87-year-old woman. And I reject trends and just ignore them. But I get around to them eventually. So what are some trends that, you know, have been happening just in pop culture on the internet and stuff?
Okay, so with the year, almost a year of this pandemic, there's been a lot that's happened. I don't know how this has been so long. I feel like this was literally yesterday, but Tiger King became an overnight sensation during quarantine. The Outer Banks was big for a while. A lot of people were obsessed with Baby Yoda. Let me think of what else. Animal Crossing came out on the Switch, and every single gamer girl fangirled over it for a week, and then we were done with it. I'm not done with it though. I'm obsessed. I'm calling this the lockdown down low. For anybody wondering, this is what this segment is going to be called, and I feel like it'd be a fun way to keep everybody trend ready. TikTok dances became a big thing. A bunch of people were putting LED lights all over their walls and taping stuffing over it. Last week, actually, I saw a video of someone. It's called a cloud wall, and someone's room caught on fire. So putting our health and safety at risk for the aesthetic, I think it was very, very relevant this year. And then last but not least, I feel like this was a pretty big trend, but it didn't play. That's so awkward. We had to go again. Just pretend that never happened. Yeah. Among Us was so big this year. So I was just wondering if there was anything that's happened since the beginning of quarantine for any of you, whether it be a trend or not, that has like really affected your life, or like you whipped coffee pasta recipes. Yes, baking bread was really big. All the things. Was there anything that y'all have gotten into, or a trend that you followed that's kind of shaped your quarantine?
Well, you mentioned Among Us was one of them.
Yes.
And I play that all the time with my friends. The times that we do play, usually one of them gets super mad because somehow we revealed that he was the imposter, or somehow I leaned my screen over, my roommate saw it, and then he's like, oh, I have to put that in the thing right now. And so I didn't get to kill anybody. But I think that's a fun game. I like playing it.
I have a Twitter group chat, and they're from like all over the world. And there's this girl named Michael from Utah. And she tells every single time if she's the imposter who the other imposter is on accident. So we say that she sells games, and in our Discord server, her little role is GameStop manager because she sells games. But yeah, Among Us has been very, very popular, especially with like streamers and stuff like that. What about you, Amanda? I know that you're not a trend follower, but you mentioned crystals. Has there been anything that you've gotten into in the past year since we started this pandemic?
Well, I did. I was, you know, one of those. I tried Among Us. I like the concept of the game. I just don't have people near me. I don't really have friends to play it with because nobody ever wants to like. I feel like I don't have people around me that are like into games and stuff like that. I played it once after last semester. We like played it after a class, and it was so fun.
I love that.
So that was a good
class Among Us round. We had like 11 people. We could have a 10 person room. I think it would be phenomenal.
It would be so fun. That would make my day because I like being able to like play with a bunch of people. I've tried to do it in person with like a couple, like 3 or 4 friends, and it like doesn't work because it's lame. Yeah, Maddie said we played.
Awesome.
Yeah, we did. We had so much.
Among Us isn't your thing. Michael says we could play Club Penguin or Webkins. Club Penguin, you can run the fade on CP Rewritten. It's like you remember, you can get whatever color puffle you want. That's like a big upgrade from childhood because I'm not trying to pay any money for that.
Yeah. I did hear some things about one of those Club Penguin revival things where it was like, I can't remember if it was like stealing your data. There was some shady thing going on with one of those websites. I don't remember which it was because I know there was a couple ones made. But like, it's okay. We down for the hacking. Anything for Club Penguin. But yeah, I guess Among Us was like my trend. I'm looking through our list. I didn't watch Tiger King until literally in November. I find one of my friends was like, "We have to watch it. We don't have it." And I was like, "Oh, all right." And it was pretty good. Never played Animal Crossing. Never got TikTok. I don't like coffee, so I never made whipped coffee. I didn't bake or cook because I kind of just like suck at that. Didn't watch Mandalorian because I don't really watch TV. I just watch YouTube videos because I'm a weirdo. I did hang out in a parking lot like once or twice.
That's been a big thing. I feel like people who are concerned about COVID, which should be everybody, I know we're college students, but we still have a responsibility to the community, have been hanging out in parking lots with their friends and staying in their cars and just like parking away from each other and still like hanging out. And I feel like that's such a cute way to like still remain socially distanced from people, but see the people you care about. Chris or Nate, anything that's happened to you since the beginning of quarantine that you feel has really shaped your quarantine? Any trends you followed? Any new routines? Any new self-care? Any new hobbies? We want to hear about it.
Probably the biggest trend that I followed during quarantine was watching The Mandalorian. But I would have watched it either way, even if it wasn't a trend, because I'm a very big Star Wars fan. But I was the type of person that would stay up until 3 a.m. on a Thursday night to watch it as soon as it came out.
Yeah, it seems like there's a differentiation between people who are just Star Wars fans and watching it and just people who want to see Baby Yoda around your time.
100%. I was watching a really cute clip the other day of Pedro Pascal, who plays the Mandalorian, and he said he was talking to Jon Favreau about like when he offered him a role, he was like, "Okay, well, who do you want me to play? Like a robot, an alien?" And when he was told he was the Mandalorian, he just like kind of welled up in tears. And I just feel like that's such a cool moment, like for us, especially as filmmakers. Oh, Michael says there are some great parking rides in Rhode Island to go in late at night. Amazing. If y'all want to go hang out in the car in separate cars with your friends, that would be amazing.
Drinking games, that's another fun one. If you're of age, I turned 21 this year, so you know.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius sun, Gemini moon, Scorpio rising.
I love Sagittarius. I'm a Libra. Libra vibes. What about you, Chris, Nate? Do y'all know what your sign is?
I know I'm an Aries, but I don't really know anything else about it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know by the month? Is that it?
No. Well, what's your birthday?
Dates. Yeah, what's your birthday?
May 12th.
Taurus?
Yeah.
Yeah, Taurus.
Okay.
We've got 2 fire signs, an air sign, and an earth sign. No water here. It's all right. We'll get them in next time.
Yeah, no. Would that can be another. Oh yeah, we'll have an astrology segment in another one because I got a lot of things to say.
Lots of tea on that.
But okay, I feel like we should go to our last topic, which I will probably shut up for because I don't know. I know Nate wanted to bring up stuff with Max is an Aries. I see that in the comments. I already knew that. We got 2 Aries here.
Scary.
But yeah, so Nate, stocks, business. What do you have to
how is
say?
it affecting these businesses? Like, we want to know. Give it down low.
Yeah, so I'm sure everyone knows about the stock surge that happened. So a bunch of people on Reddit went on and started to inflate the stocks of both GameStop and AMC to stick it to the big people on Wall Street, the hedge funds. But when I was looking through all the stories, I didn't really see anything about the businesses themselves. Like, are they benefiting from the prices going up and all these people that are buying now that they have all this money? And I saw from a YouTuber that I watch who mainly talks about movies. So the movie theaters are, of course, are struggling with the pandemic. And AMC went bankrupt, but with all the people buying the stock, they were saved. So they basically don't have to worry about they don't have to worry about going bankrupt again until the end of 2021, basically. So they got bailed out by people buying the stock. And just found that interesting as a movie fan, indirectly they were saved by this.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any opinions on that?
I am loving all of the memes coming out of it, which is like so annoying, but I think it's my favorite part. I am very active on Reddit and Twitter, mostly Twitter. And I saw a tweet the other day that said, so we want to talk about investments, but not invest in our relationship, ... Interesting. I feel as though this specific topic is something that we should all be more informed about, because I know myself, like, I'm a little bit like anxious when it comes to money. But with AMC, I was reading about that actually today, and I think it's super, super cool that it wasn't like the purpose of the investments, but like a cause of the investments was like AMC saved, which is like super, super cool. What about y'all, Amanda or Chris? Any thoughts, questions?
Yeah, another cause of this whole thing that I saw today was that some kid, I think he was only like a teenager, made a bunch of money off of the GameStop shares, and he then donated it all to a children's hospital, which I thought was really cool.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's good using the money to, like, not for yourself, for others.
Yeah, definitely. We should all take away from this, help out the world. Because clearly, these people, I don't know much about the stock situation. I just know that people, the big guys, were trying to stop the amateur investors from doing their thing. And it's like, hey, what if they're just trying to do something good for the world? Or they're just trying to have a little fun? What's wrong with that? Just
Right,
because,
if you want to keep it for yourself, why shouldn't those people deserve it?
yeah, like, to stop being, people need to not be greedy, because that's annoying. It doesn't help.
And you can quote her on that.
Yeah. quote me that. Use that as your senior quote. People need to stop being greedy because it's annoying. Speaking of greedy, we're being a little greedy with time. It's about, I think it's time for us to wrap up this show. But thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed me blabbering on like a crazy person. I think we had some important things to talk about. And it was a grand old time. So hopefully come back next week. Tell your friends. I want to make this a thing that people keep coming back to, because I think it could be fun.
And during this week, just remember, stay safe out there, friends. All right, see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.